Hey guys, welcome back to K-Sass. So today this video will be about the reaction to the whole Candiace and um Candiace and Monique fight. So I know the initial fight happened. This damn laptop, it's not sitting right. So anyway, so I know the whole fight happened on last week's episode, but the follow up and the fallout and the aftermath happened um on tonight's episode. So I had trouble watching it and not wanting to hurry up and give my opinion. Although my opinion doesn't fucking matter, but I still want to put it on my platform because I need to get this out. Guys, like, so many things agitated me with that episode, okay? A, reality TV is sculpted and created to make the viewers feel a certain way. A, B, for it to fit a narrative. And C, it's almost always crafted to make particular people of the show look a certain way. Okay, so with that being said, in my opinion, Candiace got what she deserved, and this is why I'm saying this. Me, myself, and people, it's not for a debate necessarily on what's right or what's wrong, because people's life experiences, upbringing, current state of events, alcohol, uh it's just a lot of factors going into somebody just snapping in a moment where they weren't necessarily hit first, but the tension is high, and a touch, a bump, a flick, a tip, you're in my face, you're getting too close, and then it's like a smack. I understand how those little touches end up to a all out fight. Okay, so what I'm saying is that I myself in my personal life, and this is why it's bothering me, because me myself in my personal life, I'm not a fighter. Like, I don't, like, I'm a Cancer. We avoid physical confrontation as much as possible. I really even hate to be in that space because it bothers me. Like, I can't just do it and be like, oh, fuck them, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? No, it bothers me and worries me and stresses me to just the replaying it over, like, you again. So it's touching me personally. So I'm speaking from a, not only am I reacting to what's on TV, crafted TV, but I'm responding because this touches home for me in a personal place. That I've I haven't physically had a fight with somebody that I didn't like, just a physical fight, since I was like in the 5th grade. And again, that came from somebody egging me on, pushing me. I've had a fucking enough. And it was time for this person to get their ass whooped. And that's it. And this is the thing, though. Just like in life, tragedies, a positive can come from a tragedy, is what I'm trying to say. So the positive of something like the Monique and Candiace altercation is that Candiace now knows you need to have boundaries with what you say to people, and be cognizant of not only your what you're saying in that moment, but also be cognizant that you don't know what that person has been going through, and what button trigger is going to it's going to take for somebody to react the way that she did. Had those cameras not been there, this could have really been a strong legal matter. And I'm saying that for the fact that I watched Isabel Mitson's video. And I know people, again, it's metaphysical science and it's for entertainment purposes only. Although, in my psychological analysis, based off watching her video and based off just watching the show, and just being a tarot reader myself, I definitely can 98% believe everything that Isabel Mitson said in her video. And what I mean by this is that Monique's husband, and I guess you can say alleged because it came up through a metaphysical reading, had an affair with a woman. Okay, that he not only just a one-time thing. He was on the road and it was a one-time thing. No, it's an emotional affair because he kept going back to this person. Okay, so and then she brought up the social dynamic in her relationship. The social dynamic in her relationship is the fact that Chris is very domineering. And Chris demands her to have a certain role of taking care of, not, and I'm not saying this like it's a bad thing, but again, it's just the pressure and the build in your personal life of dealing with these things, and then the stress of the show, the stress of this, you know what I mean, guys? It's a building. You guys used to watch that show Boiling Points on MTV? So it was like if we put a temperature gauge on Monique, she already kind of came in high, and it really was the perfect person to take her over the edge to where it made her react in a physical way. I don't personally have any sympathy for Candiace. Again, I feel like Monique is, her marriage and the stress of her marriage ending is a lot. Just saying that in a sentence doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're in it and you have kids and you have assets to divvy up and like it's a lot, and then you're on TV, you're a public figure, so it's all playing out. So the stress of it, the human mind can only take so much. It can only be stretched so far. Your patience can only be wore so thin. Okay? So instead of asking or really not asking but attacking what she did in that moment, let's look at what was the build up to that moment to make her react in that way. Now, Giselle angers me, okay? She angers me because not only are you playing up your storyline, because you already been exposed metaphysically, okay? So you playing up this storyline angers me even more because you're coming from a high horse. And you got a fake ass storyline with Jamal. Y'all not even really together. But yeah, you sat there and took notes, but you threatened me and you did this and and then you finally did it as if you cross-examining her in some type of court of law. What qualified you? Your tacky ass got your nerve. And again, guys, it's not like they'll give a fuck about what I'm feeling, but this is just what I'm feeling about people that's like her. You know what I mean? Like, those type of people have their nerve. Crazy. Because she was also a Candiace before. She was Candiace before Candiace came on the show. So had Candiace not came on the show and there would have been Giselle that day, she would have fought Giselle ass. Because again, and they want to bring up this whole race thing and black women and stereotypical bag and you let us all down. We were rooting for you. No, it's the fact that I'm a Cancer, and so empathy runs deep in almost everything that I do. And I am, and if I ever miss a moment where I'm not cognizant of not only what I'm saying and how it affects somebody, then I must be going through something dire. But it's just how my brain works. I try to craft things and do things and say things not thinking of them before me, but just being cognizant that you don't know what somebody else is going through. So I think that should be Candiace's takeaway. And if it's not, then She's going to keep reliving that same lesson. That was a lesson she was supposed to learn. In Monique, I think in her life, again, it was just a lot of stress. And it just manifested in that way. You can't keep physically pushing somebody and just saying things. The tongue is a sword, and it really cuts people. And you don't, and only a hit dog collar, so you don't even know. Even though she looks like she hadn't been hit, but spiritually, Monique was bruised already, and so it was like somebody touching a bruise and poking it and poking it and poking it till you just snap. So I totally see how that night culminated in Monique putting her hands on Candiace. Candiace, all out throughout her life, it came out also in the reading that she is a trust fund baby, and she basically hadn't had to work hard, and she likes to have everything her way, and basically she's just another junior to her mom, as we already seen her mom on the show. So this type of person needed to be humbled and earthbound, because she hadn't been earthbound for a long time, and she has been operating from a floating type of place. Okay, and she would kind of whiz around and whiz down and whiz around and whiz down. It was time for somebody to ground her bitch ass. I don't feel bad about it. And y'all can try to come for me in the comments if you disagree with me. But my opinion still remains. And I don't know these people, but this is my opinion. And my opinion, I know, doesn't matter. Neither like any of y'all opinion or our opinions or opinions in general matter if it's not your life. But it's just this is my platform, so this is my opinion. And what Monique displayed could have happened to anyone given the same amount of stress and circumstances. And I can't wait till the day till Giselle get her bitch ass dragged. Because she says a lot of slick shit too. And I mean, I remember that one trip, it was her and she was saying a lot of crazy shit to Karen. And Karen was gonna drag that bitch, okay? A lot of times the cameras have stopped these women from getting the ass whoopings they so rightly deserved. Okay? Sometimes you need a good ass whooping. Because you need to be humbled. And it makes you stop and reflect, how did I get to this moment? And the fact, in the therapy session with Dr. Candice had no takeaways from the fact of, I need to be more cognizant of what I say and how it affects people. And I need to focus more on not using my words to tear down people, but to uplift them. And if I have nothing positive to say to a person to build them up, then I need to not say anything at all and communicate that. And why? Because that's the higher ground. That's a mature thing to say. But again, that's been the underlying concern of the whole show since she's appeared on the show, is that she's a kid and she hasn't yet matured. You're on a mature woman. I'm a matured woman's platform. And it's like, how did you get in the door? Because mentally, you're kitty. Kitty as fuck. Mentally, bitch, your mental state is still on the playground. A lot of them continuously say that and reference her with that connotation because it's true. Show or no show. It's there. Sometimes a lot of stuff with this show is fabricated and manufactured, but a lot of it isn't. And that's one of the things that I feel it's not. Because money and entitlement buys you that attitude, gives you that attitude, breeds that attitude, and tells you and whispers in your fucking ear that point of view and that attitude is okay. Money does that. Entitlement does that. Not having to work for shit a day in your life whispers that shit in your fucking ear. Okay? So again, I understand how that shit happened. And if I was Monique, I wouldn't feel remorseful either. Although, sweetie, you're going to have to put on your politician hat because you are in a public forum, and really all people are doing with money is protecting their money and people from stealing it, i.e. a lawsuit, i.e. extortion, i.e. whatever, whatever, whatever. That's what you're protecting. So that's why I will put on a good PR spin for this because of the money. You've all, and it's hard to not say the bitch deserved it. It's really hard to not say it, but she's riding with it because even in the after show with Andy, she's still saying the bitch deserved it. Which again, I'm not saying she didn't deserve it, but is it? But is your stance going to help your bag? Is your stance what a politician would do? No. And to be honest, you need a good PR team. And I don't know why you can't talk about the fact that Chris had an affair and how it got spent on you having an affair. I don't know how that happened or why you guys are allowing that to happen. Because Isabel has never been wrong before, and I don't doubt it. That Chris is having an affair. And even that in itself takes a toll on you as a woman, cameras or no cameras. Because, I mean, this happens every day from the hoods to the middle class to the upper class. Happens every day. That takes a toll. That takes a toll. And then added on being a mom to 2 little kids and then to a baby and breastfeeding and taking care of that big ass house and other shit and running the business and filming and having this image on, this false image on constantly. Sometimes I think Monique just, she just gets tired like, hey, this is who I am. Fuck it. But sweetie, you can't do that. You can't do that because that's not what you signed up for. And you got a bag to protect. And just like you said in the conclusion of the episode, perhaps you do need to take a step away from the show because, again, it is a lot to juggle. Until you can get back your good grasp image face, please step away. So I don't know if you need to deal with something in your personal life with Chris and his side bitch or your relationship or y'all separating or whatever. But you gotta remember who the fuck you are. And you gotta pivot and play this shit with the best of them. Because that's all this shit is. And it's just, okay, so then I digress on that point. But it's just the fact that also, because I just remembered this, that Candiace tried to pull a whole white woman. Only people of in that term come from white women that are affluent, of money, that when something happened to them, they immediately play victim as if they didn't play an antagonist role into the whatever transpired to them to make them then grasp their pearls and be like, why I'd never. And that's exactly what she pulled. She pulled a white woman. Yes, she did. Which further, and I brought that up because it further lends to the fact that Isabel Mitten was right. But we all saw it. Like, she's an entitled, spoiled brat. And this is not a bash video, but it's just the fact that the girl who you play on TV and the fact that you can't take away anything from that and elevate that to become a better person or to just own your flaws, you're deeply flawed. And the tea is, because I don't want to spill all the tea in her video, but I mean, you guys are you should watch it anyway, regardless of what I say in my video, because I'm not doing a reading. I'm just simply letting her video further prove my stance and what we all see on TV for these people. But anyway, she dropped the tea that Candiace is cheating on Chris. She said multiple sexual partners. Multiple. Multiple. Okay? Multiple. So, girl, you ain't no fucking saint either. So, if I was Monique, what I would do is I would get a really great Olivia Pope type of PR team, find some dirt about these sexual encounters, and let that shit leak. Because, guys, and it sounds crazy, but in this type of arena, it's all a court of public opinion, and it's all a matter of public opinion. And it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So, to protect my bag and my endorsements, that's what I would do. Because it's clear what we see on TV. But it's all about spinning it as tech guys. Let me tell you why your eyes saw that. That's what a PR team does. And not only does it do that, it tells you to, hey, while your eyes was looking here at me doing this, your eyes really should be looking over there at them doing that. That's all PR is, okay? And also PR is telling the backstory of humanizing the situation as to that could have been all of us, instead of us eliminating or furthering ourselves from what happened. That could never be us. I would never act like that. But putting it in words to make it relatable to how you would then understand, yes, it could be you. It could be, you know what? It could be you on a simple trip to Walmart and you parked, and you know, sometimes with Walmart parking spaces, depending upon where they have the store at and the layout of the supermarket, maybe where they have their store at, the parking spots can be really tight. So let's say you park into a parking spot and then somebody else parks into a parking spot, okay? One person's white, one person is black. You guys are okay, and like let's say the black person pulled in last. So the white person's already pulled in, but they don't even know that they're white, okay? And so they pull in close, and they're getting out. And let's say that they lightly tap their car, just trying to get out because it's so close. And that was like one of the only parking spots you had been driving around, okay? And then the white person who owns the vehicle next to you that you tap, see you tap their car. And now some type of confrontation ensues, some type of, I'm just saying that it could happen at any moment. It could, because again, that person don't know what you've been through that day. You don't know what that person been through that day, but the culmination of the two was a fire. Nobody intended for that to happen, but it happened due to the factors that led to your psyche in that moment that caused your reaction. Now, some people would say, well, despite all that, you still should. I would have. I can't believe. But you can't say that until you're in that situation. And that's why we have a show called Snapped. And that's why we have something called Jail. Okay? Because plenty of people snap every fucking day. That's part of human nature. You can only take so much. We're not robots. You can only take so much. So, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I hope you guys, if you were on the fence, or maybe if you felt the same way I felt, or if you didn't really know how to feel, that perhaps the takeaway from the video, my video, was the fact that that could have been you or anybody else, and you don't go to places with the intention of something like that happen. So not only do I have sympathy for Monique, also, and what contributes to that is what came out metaphysically with Isabel Mitten, and how I don't have sympathy for Candiace, and how Isabel Mitten's video metaphysically backed up why. And not because she's just cheap, but it's just the fact that Chris loves her so much. And it's just like, if she puts on this front, you know what I mean? it's all of that that makes me feel like, again, this needed to happen to her because she needed to be humbled. No, I don't want her to be killed or slain or anything like that, but you do need to go through situations to humble you, to bring you back down to earth. And the fact that it hasn't, then maybe something else needs to happen again. So that is my point of view about that, guys. If you have a point of view that you would like to share with me, then please leave that below down in the comments. But let me say this. I'm not interested in going necessarily back and forth with anybody. I'm not interested in any negative comments trying to come from me for how I feel, if that even is the case. Because I'm not here for it. I'll just add you to the block list and move on. But guys, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you tune in to my next video. So I need to do a part 2 on the Black Lives Matter and Antifa exposed. And essentially we're in a Cain and Abel, red and blue, blood and crep, first constitution versus second constitution battle. What side are you on? Until next time, guys, seek the truth, vibrate higher, and carpe diem.